the year of the girls though, because like everybody I know, like last year, I knew everybody was having little boys. Now this year, I know I know like 5 different people having little.
My babies are not happy about this little girl.
They not why they want a boy.
They got 3 boys. They said what to do with a girl, and now we really got to be a parent. I was like, wow.
So that little girl gonna be tough and spoiled all in one. Because they ain't gonna let her not be tough. You know what I mean?
That's running things.
Yeah, she gonna be running them.
And you know I'm not a softy grandmother, but I be looking at Chauncey with her baby. I be like, I can't wait. I never was like
that.
You know what? And I'm not a softy grandmother either. And you know
something about that one got your heart. I can
tell. Yeah, them eyes, them big eyes he got. Woo! And he just got that smile that is just
he really and I'm just not, I've never been a girl person. You know what I mean? Even growing up, I had a few girlfriends. I'm just like, I'm the boy person because I was such a tomboy and I can relate to them. And I was the only girl growing up, you know, with my 2 brothers. And so it was, you know, it was different. And my mom wanted me to be this girly girl, but that just wasn't who I was. So, but Jared, my daughter, softened me having a daughter, but thank God Jimmy was first. So, you know, so the granddaughters, it's the same thing. I adore them, but you know, they shady.
They some cuties too. That little one.
They shady.
Shady.
That brings us to our subject tonight, being shady.
Shady baby before Shady baby came around, because I'm like, these the real shady babies.
You got that right. Shady is. Woo.
Shady is.
I think little girls. See, I don't know. I'll tell anybody. I mean, I got one daughter, and I got my stepdaughter, and I was in my stepdaughter's life since she was just turning a year. You know what I mean? And
oh wow. Okay.
She was the girly girl. My daughter was not. You know what I mean? Okay. My daughter liked animals. She still is a fond person of animals. She did never want a doll baby. She wanted figurines, animals. You know what I mean? She loved animals from a little tiny thing. But then my stepdaughter was very girly. You've seen her, Celeste. She's adorable. You know what I mean? And she was putting rollers in the mannequin heads we used to have, like
I did that. You ain't do that?
I did, but not at 2 years old.
Oh no, yeah. No,
2 years old. She was putting in a roller set at 2 years old.
She knew she was a lady.
Whoa, I used to be like, whoa, this girl.
I go catch her looking any kind of way.
Yeah, and she's do her own hair now. Like she was in high school.
Oh wow.
And her hair is already super long. She was putting locks in her head, and I was like, girl.
She knew what she wanted.
Yeah, she got Old Dominion right now. But I told her, I said, you might want to have that as a backup because you have a natural talent. And that I think she compensated for when my daughter was not the girly girl, because I was a girly girl. I had everything that Barbie made, and I loved dolls, and my daughter didn't. So it was kind of adjustment when my daughter was little, because then I always liked animals, but I had to really become fond of animals because that was her knack.
I ain't yawning because I'm tired. I'm yawning because I had a glass of water.
Well, we better get into this in Frenemy.
No, it's so right.
No, this is like this. Because then we be talking, and then when I have to go edit this, I'm gonna be like, damn, you know what I mean?
It's gonna be too long.
Because it be so long, you know what I mean? You gotta make sure you just keep it. You gotta keep it popping, because if it's too long, it could be used. You're on it for real. Be like, okay, where they going with this? Well, frenemies is our topic tonight. And I can tell you for myself, I've had lots of frenemies in my lifetime. Lots of them. And that's not a badge of honor. That's what I used to, say to myself, I don't know, because I know I'm not saying I'm this super person, but I know that I'm a very giving person. You know what I mean? And I think that I include these frenemies because first, I think giving a lot, because I like to give. I like whatever I have as my talent or whatever. I like to share that, and it's just my nature. But I think it used to morph into other shit. You know what I mean? Like really, just being like jealous and envious. And I'm like, I don't do jealousy at all. Cause I kind of back away from people. If you hear somebody talk about other women and things like they don't like, and it's hating, I kind of back away from people like that, because I know that if you say that in front of me, I know what you can say when I'm not around. You know what I mean? Because that mentality is not something you strike with one person. So
Right.
I don't know. I have lots of stories of frenemies, and they were some crazy stories. Like, I don't know, but y'all tell me
What's
what
a
your
frenemy? Give me, because normally
Okay.
Chauncey goes to the dictionary on us and gives us the real. But
No,
I was thinking.
No, believe it or not, I didn't look this up. I didn't look it up.
You should Google it, because it tells you exactly what a frenemy is.
I looked it up, but and I'm used to Chauncey going, okay, give you the record.
Wait, because you know what? The thing is, for me, anyone who has not meant me well, I have been fortunate because they weren't in my life for a long time. If they were a frenemy, I never found out that they were a frenemy. I've had some friendships that have just dissipated over time because people are in your life for a season. But as far as doing me harm, stabbing me in the back, that type of thing, it hasn't happened because I haven't really given anyone an opportunity to do that. One of the other things is my circle has always been very, very small. Even when that circle slightly changes, it's still been very small. So I don't have a lot of experience with it. And then I've always been the type of person to kill them with kindness.
I had to look it up, right? Why you laughing, Kim? Because I looked it up, right?
Yeah.
Why you laughing?
I'm laughing because I'm like, I'm getting ready to comment on Chauncey. That's a good thing, Chauncey. Really, it is.
Because if you think about it, like even with Kimmy and I didn't see each other for over 20 years.
Yeah.
But when we saw each other again and we reconnected, it was like we never left.
Yeah.
We were those little girls again on the porch,
Mm-hmm.
on the porch, being who we were. And that's genuine. And I can even say, even when it's things about friends, that it might be some things that I have some friends that they do, or might have certain ways that I'll be like, now, that irritate me, but I could say that to them. It's not something I say behind your back, right?
Yeah.
I can say that to them.
Because you're true friend.
That's my real friend. Yeah.
It's not to be perfect. Go ahead, Swan.
Okay. It says frenemy, right? A person with whom one is friendly despite a fundamental dislike or rivalry.
Yeah.
So I did not particularly, because I'll be trying to look it up so I won't sound crazy on the day, right? So when I looked it up, I thought it's not really a friend. It's somebody who you're friendly with. And you could be friendly with them because of work, or because they're part of your, maybe, I don't know, your child's girl, boyfriend or girlfriend. So you're friendly with them, but they just work your last damn nerve. That's what I was thinking.
Okay. All right. No, it's a competition thing. It's more
competition. Yeah.
It's a competition thing. And so
who wants one of those?
Sometimes you don't
because you have them.
Yeah, you don't know it. Yeah.
There you go. That's where
they'll show their face. They'll show
a fake person.
It's not.
It's deeper than being fake. It's deeper than being fake. Because let me tell you, they almost infiltrate your circle intentionally. Really. So that's
I had one of those.
Yeah, that's a totally, because when that frenemy becomes an enemy, it's like they go into another bracket, because they will. It's going
to use your stuff against you, huh?
Yeah, and they use it against you. They secretly compete against you, and they have deep-rooted jealousy against you, and you don't even know. They never show you in your face, but all their moves, once you think about, once the toxic ways are exposed, then you'll sit back and you'll think like, damn, this and this and this and this was going on. You know what I mean? And you be like, okay, that was like really sad that this had to, dismantle, but this person really don't like me. You know what I mean? They really, truly don't like me. Let me give you a story. This is going to trip you out. First and foremost, when I moved down south, you know, like I said, I always kept my childhood friends, you know what I mean? Always, it's something there because we have a genuine connection. But I don't know if you went through this, Celeste, but you, Celeste, you know me for a lot of years, you know, and when I moved down south, I always felt like, hope nobody don't get pissed off hearing me say this, but I mean, because I have a group of friends still down south, but I found it really hard to make friends. I really did. I felt like I was
You ain't trust them.
right. I felt like I was categorized because I was from the north.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
that was a huge one. You know what I mean? That was a huge one. And when I say frenemies, they would really put on the overacting of being really nice. That's a red flag to me because that's not my personality. You see what I'm saying? But then they would figure that wasn't my personality and they would come in more softer because they knew that that's not going to get it. You see what I'm saying? I think I'm a lot like my dad because I have a intuition about people. And even if I don't say it, I can read it. You see what I'm saying? So one time I was just when I was after I was, you know, in my little single life, you know what I mean? No kids, no nothing, just single and popping. That was me. You know what I mean? I was the girl. I would think I was the girl. I would hang out. This is when I lived down in Hampton. I actually had a girl I thought was my really good friend. And we would go to the base and hang out and all kinds of people laugh. So let's why you tripping. Hang out and all kinds of shit. So let me tell you, we it was a guy I was seeing, and the guy he was like a model and like a fashion editor all in one. He really had it going on. And he wanted back then, he wanted me to do pictures and stuff with, but I start sharing this with her. Okay. So what and then I start telling her, you know, his name and stuff like this. So long story short, she comes to pick me up one night. We going to the NCO club and she has another girl with her, right? And when I get in the car, I get in the back seat and I said, hey, you know, I introduced myself and she gave this half high. I was like, okay, you know. So all during the whole night at the club, she was just looking at me and you know, I was like, damn, I mean, I was like, you had to bring this chick, like she ruining all our fun. Like, what the hell? When she went to drop me off and she said, oh, by the way, bitch, he not yours. He mine because I just had him last week. I ain't gonna say the person name. And I was like, huh? So I went in the house and like I didn't call her or anything like that, right? The girl who was in the car said this to me. So I didn't say anything, but when I went in the house, I was like, okay, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? Like, damn. And then I had to, you know, I had to like try to understand. But then I started to put 1 and 2 and 3 together. You know what I mean? That not only did she know about this and she told this girl, like it could have been a conflict. You see what I'm saying? Because she don't know like how I can go to 1,000. And she didn't know me like that, but it could have, because if the girl would have approached me, it could have turned really ugly. But she went as a person that was my friend. You see what I'm saying? And we did things together. We went to New York and I took her to my home and all this stuff, but she really was not my friend at all. And she called to me like 2 days later. It's like, girl, my girlfriend was tripping. She just jealous of you, Kimmy. I was like, and after that, I was like, but we won't mean you won't be talking anymore. You know what I mean? I just kind of distanced myself from. So that's a example of a frenemy to me. You know what I mean? Because you let them in your circle, and then they can do some really backhanded stuff for you, and they act like they're true friends, but they have no intention of being a true friend. Rotten to the core. And if you listen, I still don't like you. So that's my example. You got this look on your face like, what?
I think they know you still don't like them.
Yeah, they know.
I think they know.
Now, have you had situations like that, Celeste?
I'm trying to think, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm sure I have, but I know you. I am so not interested in no girlfriends. Like I am so over the bullshit at not even at this age. You know, I just expect people to be people. And I know that sounds crazy. Like I'm like this. I'm not. I'm just an only child that's used to being by herself. And I take people for a grain of salt because I don't trust nobody. I know that sounds jacked up, Chauncey. I know it does because I have to trust somebody, but I don't. Even with that whole, and I'm quick to tell somebody, look, I know this is temporary, whatever this is. And it doesn't even hurt me anymore. Maybe it does inside, but it doesn't. I can't really think of somebody who I let in my circle because I really don't. And
but did you ever get to a point where you did let people in your circle? Like, usually it happens when we're younger, because we're seasoned women now.
Okay. So now you got me going back. And I do have somebody that came up to me recently and told me, you hurt my feelings. Mm-hmm. And I was jealous of you. And I'm like, what? Woo. It was what? Like from childhood. And I was thinking, what? And you still bad?
That happened to me too. That happened to me. I asked them, was they smoking weed? I was like, you can come out and just say something like that. You've been harboring something like that for 40 years.
They do. And you know what? Also, Chauncey, it's hard for me to believe somebody would be jealous. I got so many jacked up stuff. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
But you know your own jacked up stuff. But what you compare to other people?
I'm so all over the place and so work in progress. And so that it would be hard for me to believe somebody would be maliciously trying to like do.
Because I think that some of it isn't always jealousy. I think some of it is about frenemies are also the other way around. People who think that they're better than you, and they keep you around to make themselves feel better. Because I've always said to my kids, and it's not about putting anybody down. It's not about you feeling like you're better than anyone. But I feel like when you're of a certain age and you're growing in your life, like Kimmy said, we're seasoned women, so it's a little different. But when you're a younger person and you have a circle of friends and you have a set of friends, I always tell them you need to be somewhere in the middle of your set of friends. You need to have some friends that are doing better than you and some friends that aren't doing as well as you are.
Absolutely.
Because those friends doing better than you need to be able to elevate you. You need to be motivated by them to be pulled up. And then you need to do the same for the ones that aren't doing as well as you. And again, that's not to say you're better than anybody. But if you have a circle of friends and you're at the top of those set of friends, you need a new set of friends.
Absolutely.
You got that right. And don't go down too far with from some friends. I'm telling you.
Because you should know, that's what I'm saying, because you shouldn't be going down, you should be going up. And so now when you look at a certain place and you get to a certain point in your life, then you all still might be on a financial end, you might be on different levels, but you still are somewhat evenly yoked. You know what I mean?
People striving and do better in their life. You know what I mean? That's what I see. I mean, you're not over here just totally wilding out. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, we're gonna just distance ourselves.
And I can't say that I haven't. I guess I'm just not as aware of it as I should be.
You better be aware.
Yeah, and it may be because I am so now there's some people in my circle, like the Kims of the world, but I don't have too many people that haven't had history with me in my space. Because so maybe that's why
you have a think about it, you have a life that most people will want, and they don't. And because I've known you for so long, I've never seen you be braggadocious and all those things like that. And that right there can lead people to either say that's a mystery. I ain't gonna fuck with it. You see what I'm saying?
That might be it.
Yeah.
Now that is true. That is true. And
I can say I've seen all your stuff, everything, but you got it going on. And I could tell you, somebody I think if you had a different personality, I think it would be different. I think you would. Yeah. It would be where people would gravitate in a way where they would try to infiltrate your circle, really. And I think that's what a frenemy is, a person that infiltrates your circle.
That might be true. Yeah. That might be true. Yeah, that definitely is true. Because I'm not really clingy with people, Chauncey, I was telling Kim, the friends that I have been my friends forever.
Yeah.
So I mean, shucks,
I'm
Kim, you
really
probably,
like that now.
I was gonna say, Kim, you probably the last friend, and that was how many years ago?
That's when got in the gate. Look, close that gate behind you. Like, cause I was the last.
Yeah, don't let nobody else in.
Yeah, I don't have a. I'm like that today, and Chauncey probably see me more than most people because I see Chauncey, here and there. But most of the time, I'm so reserved to myself because I like to be by myself. I like quiet. You know what I mean? I don't like drama because first time you show me drama, I'm going to distance myself because
Exactly.
I can't do it. So I mean, I can't say I've always been like that, and I think because I wasn't always like that, it caused me a lot of inconveniences. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
I think you're so kind-hearted. That's why you got stuck with that other one. But
Yeah.
what's the problem from where we sit? What's the problem that causes people to be like that? Like, what's wrong with being cool with me and me opening up things to you and you open up things to me and we grow together? What's wrong with that? Why you gotta be dun 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 dun?
Well,
What's that?
Well, like I said, I think because we are of a certain age, we have the stories to tell about past, but we don't really run into it now because those stories of the past or what we've seen other people go through have taught us what not to do. We may not know what to do, but we certainly know what not to do. And so one lesson that I've learned, even with the friends that I have, whom I love and adore and are like sisters, when it comes to sharing, how I share and who I share it with is different, even amongst those who I trust with my life, simply because each woman, if it happens to be a woman, each woman has a husband. If it happens to be a man who's a good friend, they might have a significant other or a wife, right? So now, do I have the expectation that when I say something to you, are you going to go and tell your spouse? So then I have to be careful because I would never tell you don't share with your spouse because I'm never going to tell a couple what to share and what not to share. So then now that means I personally am going to be careful about what I share with you because I don't want to hear it back from anybody else.
Yeah.
And you might be a person that I share something with, and you might very well tell your husband. But if you got the kind of husband that's like a sponge and don't never open his mouth, then it's never a problem. But it's always that one that kind of come and tell me what he know, because such and such told, or my wife told me. Why you gotta tell me? If she told you, just keep it to yourself.
I'm gonna tell you this. If you ever saw Keith running his mouth like that, it's gonna be some problems. I'm telling you that right now. I am so glad that my husband is super friendly, but he don't like. I don't even know what cloth he came from because he want to go to bed at 8:00. He don't care what's going on. The house could be falling down on all kinds of sides. He don't give a damn about that. He gonna tell you right now is even if I say something like this for like I could tell him things that bother my inner soul. I tell him things. He is just the most nonchalant person ever, and he just like, oh, I don't know what you worry about that for. You know what? Just when you go to sleep, you forget all about it. No, I'm not. I just told you about it. Right? You're not listening. But he's just like that. He doesn't like to engage in any of that. Now he has always been like this. And I think that's why I got high blood pressure medicine and he does not, because he doesn't let it affect him. You see what I'm saying? So when you say that, Chauncey, that is like, true truth to right, because I don't know how you could be you know having conversations with your mate, you know what I mean, about your girlfriend's life, because that's like none of his business. And let me say this, some things you could just talk in general.
You don't have to say names.
General, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, over here, don't even waste your time because it's not even going to fly anywhere. It's not. I may not even get no rebuttal back. You see what I'm saying? I tell him about stuff by my sisters and brothers and stuff. He'd be like,
Because I think that what happens is pillow talk, right?
yeah.
Sometimes, even in marriages, people talk about other people to keep them talking about themselves.
Yeah.
And so, and what's going on with them. But like I said, it's still a matter of just every now and then or whatever. But if you have a friend and they have a spouse or they have a significant other and they're always talking about you, that's also another sign of a frenemy.
Yeah.
You can love me and care about me, but I don't have to be the topic of every conversation that you
Yeah.
have. That should be a lookout, a red flag of a frenemy, because the frenemy can be overly obsessed with you as well, right? Because again, they're always
Why are you looking like that?
I'm just, I know this out there, and I'm not being ignorant. If I go in my past, I could probably tell you, but I'm so quick at cutting people off. That's not even funny.
That has to do with our age. That is our
But
age.
even before then, Chauncey, the reason why I have been, because I've never been connected with anybody as an only child. So I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy for me, you know, I meet you in this grade and you go in next grade. You know, it just was easy for me. But I had 3 close friends that we're still close now, but not as close. But I really don't know if there was any jealousy that I was aware of. But right now, even when I meet somebody, you could never be like that friend because you don't have no history with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how you roll. Like, is your house clean? Like, have you murdered somebody? Like, what's going on in your life? Like, I'm not really like a friendship. Even when I date, that's why I have a problem dating. I need that history.
Okay.
And that's why I ain't got no friend. I need that history. I need to date somebody that this guy I'm dating now, he was 6 and he was 8 and I was 6 when I met him. Oh. Like, I need to know you're not on psychotic medicine. I need to know, you know, how you parent.
That may be security for you though. You know,
it is. So when you come in my space, you ain't a friend right away. You might be doing some frenemy shit for real. Now that I'm listening to y'all. But I'm not surprised at nothing you do, because
it's funny that you say that, because my husband, so similar to Kimmy, because my husband grew up around the corner from Kim and I. And so, but I hadn't seen him in almost 25 years. And I think the last time I saw him was 1989. When I saw him again, it was 2012.
Wow.
So that's 23 years. And so when we met up again, one of the things he said to me was, I'm not trying to date no girls that's out here the same age as my daughter. So I don't want no young girls. We were in our early to mid 40s at that point. And he says, but I'm looking for somebody that knows Billy. And that's just how he said it, Billy, because we call him Billy, right? Even though his name is William, and at work they call him Bill. And, he wanted someone that knew Billy. And that was really important to him. Mm-hmm. And so when you say that, you need that history. It reminded me of him saying that back then, over 10 years ago, like, I need that person that knows the essence of who I am. Mm-hmm. Regardless of all the bull crap I've been, gone through and what's happened to me. I need someone that can see who I am and who, the essence of me. And I'm like, yeah, so that's a good idea. Even though things have happened to us, we still are those people who we were. Absolutely. Back then. We're a different version, but we're still them at heart, right? Absolutely. And so I think that's a perfect example of that. And so, like I said, when you talk about people who look at what you have and covet what you have. Oh, they want this and they want that. And don't look at what you have to go through to get it. But now they go out and they get it. And then you go get something and then they go get something to match. That's a friend of me.
So it brings up a point. Now, I remember, now you don't know who this is. I remember us all going through this whole period in time where we were in strike at work, right? We working this good job, no names, and we working this great job, and we on strike for a long time. So when you make big money and you on strike for a couple of weeks, you feel that joint.
Zero money.
you feel that joint. And I remember hanging out during the day with some folks, and the next day, and that evening they left and they went to do something else. And I remember the next morning people were talking about this meat truck that this job that the union person had provided to feed all of these families that were without paychecks. Remember what I'm talking about? You remember. Oh, and I said to the person who was hanging out with me the day before, I said, you got meat? Yes, today? They was like, yeah, pork chops and steaks. And I was like, you knew about this yesterday? They was like, yeah, that's why I left you to go to the meat truck.
And
And
you
I
never-
said, wow, why you didn't tell me? And you know what they said? You ain't never look like you need nothing. You ain't looking like you was hungry. You don't never
Friend of me.
And now we talking, and I was like, what? They
Friend
say
of
you don't
me.
never complain. You always act like you got it going on. I'm like, we've been raised not to complain. Like if you don't have no meat, you go get it, right? Like you go earn that money for it. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
I said, what? Like
do.
little things was happening like that. Like you don't never complain. And I thought to myself, God, I'm getting beat up because I don't complain. Like even if I didn't
No,
complain,
that's a
five
frenemy.
people in my house. Somebody could hate me. Like one of us could have had some meat.
But just to know that during that time, because you have to be going through it to know how this is going to affect you. I'm talking about trying to see weeks.
Oh, I know.
This was long. This was a long one. I remember one day it was raining outside. We was picking, and I was looking up like it was like I felt like I was Moses. I was like, Lord,
Lord, when it's gonna be over?
Please let these people come to an agreement, please.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I had 2 little kids. You know what I mean?
And we had big mortgages and big car payments,
I was
and we
like,
on strike for
Lord,
weeks.
I'm talking about weeks. I ain't talking about 3 weeks. Weeks.
And they had, she wouldn't even tell. And then she said, you know, that's what you do. You don't never act like you need nothing. And you was my friend.
But that's a red
That
flag.
was a
I bet
frenemy. That was a frenemy.
you can sit back and think about that. And
I'm starting to think.
5 or 6 more instances.
Yes, I'm starting to think.
I tell you, it unravels. So I think this was a good episode, you know, because we can go on forever. Because frenemy,
Oh man.
and your enemy can be your friend. So what's your final thoughts, Chauncey?
My final thoughts are being seasoned women, as Celeste put it, we kind of can see these things before they come, right?
Lord.
So thank God for discernment, right? But to our younger listeners who are still out there finding their people, finding their tribe and stuff like that, just be mindful. Everyone is not doesn't deserve your vulnerability, and they certainly don't deserve your business. Now, a lot of these younger people, because they live their life on social media and stuff like that, a lot of them are open books, so it really don't bother them or whatever. But that still doesn't mean that someone's intention isn't to ingratiate themselves into your lives and just cause havoc. You know what I mean? So just be mindful, be on the lookout, but keep your circle tight. You can have many acquaintances, but keep the circle tight.
You don't need a circle, a dot. One friend. Sorry.
What's your
advice, Celeste?
I think there's a circle of friends, and then there's a circle of trust.
I like
2
that.
different things.
Okay.
There's some people you trust, like you said, like with your life, and some people, you know, it's a circle of a friend. We friendly. You can't drink with me, but I can take you to church, or I can take you. I can't take you around my band, but I can take you shopping. Like, there's different things that you can do with them. But there's that 1 or 2 people that you have that they're gonna come and go, girl. Take this vomit out your hair and don't let nobody see you. And, you know what I'm saying? And here's some food.
I would agree with that.
They'll never say nothing about it again.
And I agree with that. And what made me think about that before you bring your point, Kim, is that if you can't or won't let them spend the night at your house with your husband there, that tells you everything.
Well, let me tell you something. You can't spend the night in my house with my husband. I don't care who you is.
Y'all 2 could spend
where you living
with my husband, because y'all are family to me, and I wouldn't know, we would have a wonderful time. But
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Your husband's there, right? You there too?
Yeah, my husband's going to cook.
Because I don't have no interest in that. Okay, you ain't asking me
my
final thoughts.
My
final thoughts are this: if you got a girlfriend that let somebody else talk about you and they don't take care of it and you never hear about it, we ain't really friends. Like your girlfriend said, oh, don't worry about, no. You handle the situation. I don't want to ever know about it.
That's huge. And you ain't got to come back and tell me. You need to handle
Ooh,
it.
they was talking about you.
Yeah. What did you say when you
carry your ass with them? You go right along.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Y'all done got me mad now. I was happy.
Well, we want you to be happy because we
got frenemies.
Frenemies. So my final thought is, like Chauncey said, like Celeste, like you both said, just know your circle. That's the most important thing. Know your circle. You know, there will be some intruders. Just keep in mind there will be some intruders, but you know, like we said, we're blessed because we're seasoned. Just starting out in life, and I say like young adults, you just gotta know your circle because frenemies can be. We didn't really touch on this. We could touch on this in the after show real quick. Frenemies can be dangerous. You know what I mean?
Destroy your life.
It can be dangerous. So, that's what my final thoughts. I think this was a great episode. So in closing, watch your circle. I'm your girl Kimmy, and
Celeste.
And this is Let's Chit Chat Sis. Join us every week on Wednesday for a new episode. You can catch us on our social media pages. I'm sorry, forget the social media pages.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Amen. All right. So on that note, have a wonderful week on purpose. Actually, did you know I was in the store, Paco, and I heard somebody say that to the customer. Have a wonderful week on purpose. I looked up, was like, do you follow my
It's real. And the after show, I'm gonna tell you what it's real. I bet you they do.
I was in a store and I heard somebody say that.
Somebody recognized me. I was like, oh God, I gotta be careful.
You just do not know. But everybody have a good night, and we'll see y'all again next Wednesday. I think it was a really good episode. So what you was gonna say, Celeste, what happened to you?
No, I mean, it was in reference to the group, like my group, and you'd be surprised. So this lady, I went to go get some ice cream for the guy who works with me, and he's new to me. So I really didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I went to go get 2 scoops of ice cream, and I went to Baskin and Robbins. Well, he said he liked this particular ice cream. So I went into Baskin and Robbins, and a young lady came in behind me. She says, I recognize you. And I said, oh, okay, I got my Lola Falana hair on. I ain't know who she recognized.
Alana.
Your sound went
off. Your sound went off.
I went through the whole, what church, what school, whatever, and we couldn't figure it out. And so I finally just stopped talking to her. And when I got ready to leave, I said, if you remember, let me know. And I gave her my business card. And when I gave her my business card, that was real estate, child. I was trying to sell some real estate. And she took it and she said, are you on social media? And I said, yeah. She says, I'm on a lot of groups. I said, well, you might not be in my group, but I'm in. And I told her the name of the group and it didn't click. I said, and she said, what do you do? I said, I'm fiercely committed to myself, girl. I left my job and da-da-da. And when I said that, she says, and cried. What? And I said, she says, I'm in the medical field and my parents want me to be a doctor. And I just want to be an actress and I just want to live for my life. And I'm in your group. And I was like, time out. You go be a doctor, girl. Which I tried to be no actress and have your parents look for me. She was like, I'm gonna call you. But it's true. You'd be surprised at who have seen you and you don't know. So you gotta really be careful now because people are recognizing you from things and you impacting lives.
I was like, whoa.
So somebody might be doing that. That's cool, Kim.
Y'all would not know what people send in emails.
Share it with us, some bubbles. I would love to see it.
I'm gonna have a team, but y'all would probably be like, whoa. Sometimes they address it to me, Chauncey and Jay, then sometimes Celeste, Chauncey.
They be in pain, huh?
It'd be some stuff that like makes me go, you know what I mean? But if my
day mad at us, do they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Or they be warning us about don't mess with this man down in this part of the country, and be like,
you seen that? You'd be like, what? I won't answer that. But some people send some stuff like you just be like, wow, I really always say, I put some wild stuff out there sometimes, but I want people to be laughing and be enlightened because there's a lot of darkness in the world, you know what I mean? And people feel a certain way. But like you said, so you gotta be careful because you don't know, like,
You do have to be
yeah,
careful.
I ain't gonna mention nothing, but I'm just gonna say this much. Chauncey, right? Chauncey, no, but I'll say it in a little bit. But you know, people's have a cry that they want you to hear. You know what I mean? With some people that's on the page that I can't keep up like I used to because I'm back to work. I try my best, but I can't keep up. But some people really make me concerned. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, okay. So, I say this with love and affection when, we're not like celebrities, but we're like hope for a lot of people. You know what I mean? So people listen to the episodes and like I said, they'll send me different types of emails and stuff. I know you see that what comes in the inbox sometimes. But to be encouraging to somebody is a really good thing because you know what, we all go through things in our own life. You know what I mean? So that's really encouraging. But it's all different walks of life, and they all over the country. They all over the country. I mean, somebody sent me a message and asked me, was it friendly to be a part of this group because they were white? And it was like, would we accept them? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, I call everybody sis. And you a sis.
Yeah.
If you a sis, you a bro. You want to sis or bro. So that was kind of heartwarming, you know what I mean? Because
that's cool.
that takes a lot of chance to be a part of it. But
We didn't get on the show that tell us, y'all great. But
yeah,
I really enjoy listening to y'all or whatever. So it's like listening to friends or sisters or whatever. So
yeah,
that's
I don't get nothing negative. I don't see anything negative. You just be like, oh, okay, all right, I mean, I try my best to keep up with people because I think it means a lot to them. So it is what it is. But I think we all do a good job. But as far as frenemies, any other thing that we didn't talk about, like I said, we didn't. To me, I didn't think we talked about somebody being dangerous to you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, dangerous.
well, and see, and yeah, and that's just the people we did talk about it because we just said those that have ill intent, right? We didn't
Right.
expound on that. But when that friendship turns dangerous, and that's not even a frenemy, that's just an enemy now, right?
Enemy.
And someone who is now, using your ID and saying that they're you or have taken your credit cards and mess with your
Just ruining
finances.
your reputation. How about just ruining your reputation?
Yeah, I can
Going out
see
here
that.
doing some things that I guess we should do an episode on that. Moving from a frenemy to an enemy because there's
Right.
all different signs that it don't have to be some one incident that happened. Like okay,
Yeah,
now
I've always had a problem with people who want to assassinate your character. It's one thing for us to have a disagreement and we no longer see things the same way, or we find out that we never really did see things the same way. But it's a whole nother thing to assassinate a person's character.
oh my God,
Hey, how come you and such aren't friends anymore? Oh, you know what? We just grew apart. I say the same thing about my ex-husband. We just grew apart. But I ain't gonna sit there and bite your back out.
But I think that's maturity. You know what I mean? Because you're mature to know that. Why would you entertain somebody that is questioning you like that? I'm kind of suspect. Why you asking me that? Because I know you're ready. I know you're ready to take that shit back. So you know what I mean? Why would I entertain you? So sometimes silence is the best thing for people that have something in store for you. Because like I said, we become dangerous when people try to set you up and put you in a predicament where becomes not even combative, but just straight dangerous.
I thought about somebody else.
Ooh, I know.
So I had a young lady that used to act like she was, I hope you listening. Who used to act like she was my friend. She was here in Richmond and I favored a lot. So it was always, I go to the bank and they go, oh, you coming back? You were here earlier. And I go, no, that's my sister. Because we look so much alike. And we became tight. And she was in a situation and, without telling all her business, I helped her out financially. And then I said, I need it back. Like, I have to have it back. I'm like single. I need it back. And she just kept making excuses. And then she went on a cruise and I was like, where's my money? And she was like, you all right, you got help. I said, what? Your ex-husband will help you. I said, I gotta pay my mortgage. She said, you ain't never been late on your mortgage. They ain't gonna kick you out. I try to get out. I try to kill her. I'm talking about, and we stopped talking. I mean, and I had the keys to her house. In my mind, I was like, you know what? Just go ahead and take your money out of her house, like all her stuff. But you know, and that's when I say sometimes, Chancey, I'm like really ignorant about shit like that, because I was thinking, you know what? I'm not gonna waste another moment on you. You really need that money. Like that was almost mortgage money, but you can have it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because like I said, once you learn and you decide the type of person that you're going to be, and how you're not going to let certain things get to you or take you there, and then you put certain parameters in place, then that's why you don't have as many stories, right?
She was jealous. I'm starting to think about them. Let me write these bad boys down so I can remember them next. I'm starting to remember these situations, like
because we do have them, right? And so, as my husband always say, don't never loan out anything that you can't make a gift.
And that's exactly what
my dad used to say.
See, and that was the problem.
I'm loaning you nothing, just say I'm gonna give it.
See, that was the problem. I gave her my extra, so I really didn't need it, and she knew that. She knew that about me, because she knew that I would not have given it to her if I couldn't afford to give it to her. But that was beside the point.
But see, you couldn't afford to give it to her because you asked for it back. Point blank, period. It doesn't matter if you could have made it back. It doesn't matter if you could have
made it back. I asked for it back because I could have bought some crab legs or something. I'm just saying, how dare you, if I go and help you in a crunch and not eat and offer it back to me? And then tell me that.
Is make judgment about your situation.
Her feelings.
Yeah, that right there, you know, but that's where my grandma used to say, she was counting your dollars and you ain't even realizing it. You know what I mean?
I'll never count nobody money.
She was sabotaging, like you said. She was actually and I was like to myself, really? And she said, your ex-husband will help you pay the rent.
Yep, she was counting your dollars. She
knew too much
before you even knew what.
She knew too much.
Too much.
Yeah, and you know.
And then guess what happens when that happens? It ain't her fault. It's yours.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's why I really wasn't mad at the fact. I was like, she knows. Now you're right. I asked for it back, but she knew I ain't take my last in there because I ain't never been like that. So she knew she can get away with. Maybe she didn't even care. I don't know. But when she said,
I think she didn't care. She just didn't care.
And then I said, I have to pay my mortgage. She said, you ain't never been late. They ain't gonna
so you were just making that up. That's why she said you could.
Yeah, because I'm never late.
That's why she used your own words against you.
Exactly.
That is a frenemy right there. Because first and foremost, you shouldn't have to tell her what you're using it for. That's not her concern.
Just give me my money.
Because a friend is a friend.
And a friend would have had it back.
Had it back. You asked for it, she needed, and that's all.
Exactly. I never thought I'd have to ask for it. It was February before I asked for it. That was November.
No, but what I'm saying is, and you should have never had to ask for it.
Exactly.
So you should have just gave it back. Just gave it back. But that's what I say. When people count your money, they don't give a crap about that. You know what I mean? When people want to be inside your bank account and all kinds of things, because they say, "Oh, she rolling in that. She living."
You know what my brother told me? I don't care if you got to borrow it again. Pay it back. If you pay it back and turn around and say, I need some of it, or I need that same thing back.
That's how I was raised.
But at least you pay it back.
At least you pay it back. That's a valid point. So I think this was a good one. Go down in the books. And I know a lot of people will get a lot from it, because I think we self-identify what frenemies are. You know what I mean? I don't have any more frenemies in my life because my circle is like this.
It got to go.
Like this. and
die.
And it's okay. You know what? Because I feel like this. I need to be able to go to bed and not be worrying about things that are unnecessary. And
your best friend is in the room with you right now.
That's right. Right there.
You better hurry up because it's getting close to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, he gonna say, you always do this every night. And then you act like, why you tired in the morning? You don't want to go to bed? Like, leave me alone. I do this every night with him. If I could do a video of it, one day I'm gonna do a video of it. every night the same routine. I'm going to bed. You don't have to go to bed. You step all time of night. Don't be complaining. Don't be
I wish my husband say that because he'd be mad as heck if I don't come to bed, y'all. You think I was out there in the streets?
Oh,
Oh, that's
oh,
good.
I can come to bed, but 5 minutes later, he gonna be asleep, so I can get back up and do whatever I want to. Cause he go to sleep in 2 seconds, literally. So I ain't worried about that. So,
How early mine go to bed, child. The
yeah.
sun's still up.
And he got that crazy schedule too. He want to be in the sun outside. Hey, it's still light outside.
You know it's bad when you on vacation in another country and he'd be like, all right, it's time. All right. Like, you know, grown-ups get to stay up at past dark, right?
But he got, you know, that's a tough job to have too. But my body is acclimated to it.
Well, ladies, it's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. I love this. Is my happy team right here. I always say this. I got all kinds of teams running around in here. You know, some might come always anxious because I don't know what's gonna be flying out the mouth. But
Oh, shucks.
you know, this is my happy team. So again, join us every Wednesday on the porch. And you can catch us on our social media pages. Hey, Chauncey.
Instagram, Twitter.
I had a long week, so
It's all good.
everybody enjoy themselves. Love y'all sisters. And
all right.
we'll see you again next Wednesday. Good night.
Good night.